Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Pete Larmore, the CEO of Bonitz. Pete, how you doing this morning?
Kemp, I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on today.
We were together just last weekend at the StarNet meeting. Real quick about Bonitz, you're more than a flooring contractor, but you're a commercial contractor based in the Carolinas with 14 locations. You've been around 69 years. You're a top 5 commercial flooring contractor. We did a list in our 30th anniversary, and you're right up there at the top. For you specifically, you've been at Bonitz for almost 37 years. You started your career with Milliken in sales and then moved, and you've been there ever since, right?
Yeah, Kemp, and it's interesting. I started 2 years in the manufacturing side of the business, and when I came to Bonitz was about $5 million. Never dreamed I'd still be here, but 37 years later, here I am, and it's been one heck of a good ride.
Well, one other thing to point out, you're an employee-owned organization, right?
Yeah, and we became employee-owned about 22 years ago, and it has worked extremely well. We have made a lot of millionaires over the years, and just people that would have never been able to be there. So we're very proud to be employee-owned.
Let's start with how's business right now?
You know, Kemp, we're very fortunate. Business is very good. Now, I'll preface our numbers. Our numbers at the end of May should be up 30% year over year. That is not just coming from the flooring business, but it is indicative of what we've been working on over the last 5 years, and it's starting to take hold. And things are going extremely well for us.
So let me just add a little more depth to that. You are a flooring contractor, but you also, for a long time, have been doing drywall work, and then you recently rebranded to accentuate the fact that you're also in the ceilings business and in the exterior cladding business as well, right?
Yeah, Kemp, it's interesting. When I took over as CEO, I made a commitment to turn us into an enterprise business, and that's been hard on some of our people, but I did not feel like we were sustainable. We were still operating like we were individually owned, and this rebranding really is a byproduct of the work we've done over the last 5 years. We are a specialty trade commercial contractor. Our core business is flooring, ceilings. We've gotten into the terrazzo business. We're also into the access floor business. We do exterior and interior cladding. We do a component of a roof deck system, and then in addition to that, we have a floor care business also.
You were telling me when I saw you face-to-face at the meeting that you've been spending your time analyzing the business and decoupling operations from sales and doing a little bit of a reorg, right?
Yeah, Kemp, what we're doing is this. We're aligning the organization so that we can better coach our people, and we have people focused on what they're good at. Traditionally, in the commercial flooring business, you've had a lot of cradle-to-grave focus, and what we've figured out is that salespeople are salespeople and project managers are project managers. So we have aligned the organization and just named Dan Tilley, who has been with us 25-plus years as the Senior Vice President of Sales. He'll have global responsibility for all product segments and sales at Bonitz. And then we brought an outsider in that was in the door business 3 years ago, very strong operational background, turned him into the Senior Vice President of Operations, and he'll have full operational responsibility for all of the Bonitz locations, all the product mixes, and he will have the responsibility of getting the processes further defined and in place so that we can focus on margin gain.
I think the most interesting part of the conversation we had this past weekend is up until now, you've been primarily a southeastern-based company with these locations, and your plan now is to expand. And an alternative to another big contractor who's going out and using private equity money to buy other contractor businesses, your plan is to open new locations.
Yeah, Kemp, it's interesting because I've been analyzing, and we've been after for a long time geographic expansion, and we weren't able to do that because finding people in the market that don't want to retire has been very difficult for us, and it's almost like finding a needle in a haystack. So part of this alignment of sales and project management is that we believe we can go into the small and mid-sized markets organically by taking salespeople and project managers either that are there in the marketplace or that we place in the marketplace and we can get started with very low investment and bring our name to the marketplace. And some markets will start with ceilings, and some will start with flooring, and some it'll start with cladding, and then we will bring all products. So the goal long term is that we offer the complete package to the marketplace. Now, we will do ceilings and flooring in every single marketplace. Our other products being access floor, sports flooring, terrazzo, resinous floor, the exterior cladding business is considered a specialty business for us. And we have an operation that will handle globally Bonitz for that, and we will put people in the marketplace for those projects. So that's the goal moving forward. It will be slow, it will be calculated, but we do intend to geographically expand.
Now, how will you choose the next markets you're going to go into?
Well, we've been looking at markets for quite some time. And it's interesting because we recently pulled out of Jacksonville and people felt like we didn't have a desire to grow, but it becomes getting the right people in the marketplace. We will look to move within our footprint now. I don't see us moving over to California a long ways away. If you look at where we're set up now, we're about an hour and a half apart or approximately 90 miles apart. So we will look at cities that make sense to go to, that are close to our existing footprint so that we can support if we need and as we grow.
Let's take a quick segment look, if you will, for a second. Which segments are strongest for you right now?
The flooring segment's very strong. The ceiling is growing. We pared down the amount of drywall business we've done. We're not out of the drywall business. But what we've said is that we will not move drywall geographically. We currently only do drywall in the Carolinas. We don't plan on growing that. The ceiling business is now moving into other locations, and that is serving us very well. And that business is growing, and we're seeing growth in existing markets by adding the new products in. Our terrazzo business is starting to pick up momentum. We've recently gotten into the sports floor business, and the resinous business has also been strong. So I would really tell you that all the segments are strong. We ebb and flow, and some markets are very strong, and other markets, geographically, the strength changes based off the year. That has to do with the factor projects. But we drive real hard to be in the annuity business and have repeat customers. So we really are we try to be less transactional than a lot of the bigger guys are.
Sounds to me like to pull this strategy off, key is going to be hiring the right people. We know it's a tight labor market, so that's going to be one of the biggest challenges, isn't it?
Yes, there's no doubt about that. We believe that with this new alignment of sales and project manager, it'll be much easier for us because we really just need to find a strong project manager and a strong salesperson, or move one of those existing people we have in the organization to a market. And then we will have regional directors of operations and sales that will coach those people and get them up to speed. We feel strongly that this will be a much easier model than what we've worked with in the past to expand.
All right, Pete, it was great to catch up with you, and thanks for sharing with our listeners your expansion plans. Again, been talking to Pete Larmore, the CEO of Bonitz, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.